I broke in very, I'd say, non-traditionally. Uh, um, I came in almost by accident. I was an entertainment attorney, um, representing talent, actors, writers, directors. Um, I'd always had a, a love for sports, and I originally planned on going into sports. I just got sidetracked. But I, um, I maintained connection with some sports clients, and uh, on the side, and I had a niche in representing athletes as well. Um, and it turned out to be, you know, uh, after a while, I represented Mike Tyson and Oscar De La Hoya, which sort of led to more boxing, which led to Showtime. I think uh, um, my advice in general, just building off that experience, is uh, to, to not really give up on on the goal. You know, uh, not everybody gets a job in sports immediately. There's a way to turn just about anything that you're doing to have a bench in sports. If you're doing finance, if you're doing legal, if you're loved. Uh, um, I, I, I've had lucky enough to have some great jobs. Um, but there's a huge difference between a job that uh, that you like and a job that you you truly are passionate about. You know, one it, one it's easy enough, you know, to get up every day and go to a job that, that you like, but when you have a job that you're truly passionate about, then you look forward to it. It's it's not like work at all. Uh, um, in terms of getting to that goal, I think the best piece of advice uh, uh, I is, is really to focus on relationships because ultimately uh, um, that's what the important part is. It, it's building a resume is important, getting experience is important, but building a or, or, or leaving a good impression with everyone you're dealing with it is critical uh, because you never know when you're going to see them again. And there are plenty of people who I cross paths with um, early in my career who had no idea that they'd be seeing me later as, as the head of a network and probably would have handled things a little bit differently had they known that. probably say that the proudest achievement was our uh, our, our boxing match last September. Uh, 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 Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo Alvarez. Um, which through a lot of hard work, by a lot of people, turned out to be the highest grossing pay-per-view event of all time. The largest uh, live gate revenue of all time, set several records. Um, and that was essentially less than 2 years since my position. So it was quite an achievement for the company, for all of us to uh, to get that so quickly after I'd taken over. Uh, um, I think in terms of fostering that culture, uh, um, the key, I, I think the most critical element is allowing people uh, the room to perform. Uh, to giving giving people responsibility, giving the ability to succeed or fail on their own. Uh, um, and delegating, and, and without that, you never know what you have in your staff. You never know what someone's true potential is until you let them loose and let them fly a little bit in not about, you know, being, you know, bossy. It's not about, you know, being authoritative. It's not about, um, you know, some of the, the sort of, you know, leadership characteristics that we might associate with like military leaders. You know, being being strong and authoritative. I mean, that when it's necessary, that's critical. Really, what being a leader is about is getting people on board with with your strategy, with your mission. You know, and ultimately, what that is about is getting people to buy in to what what my mission is, what my goal is, my strategy is. And there's no way to do that without connecting with people. You know, and, and without the emotional connection and people buying into what I'm saying is going to be our organizational goal, then there's really no reason that people are going to stay late at night or get up early in the morning or get on planes to travel and, and you know, do the things necessary to get to our group goal. One of my role models within this treating